Welcome to the third episode of the Coast2Coast Podcast. I'm Ben Cooper, joined alongside, as usual, by Henry from Hoopify and Trevor Evans. Today we are very glad to be joined by a special guest, IngravenVids, whose YouTube channel has over 27,000 subscribers and who has over 5,000 followers on Instagram through talking all things NFL. Typically, we only talk hoops on this podcast, but as with our guest, we thought it was fitting to talk a bit of NFL today. Without further ado, let's get right into it. How is everyone doing today?
Doing good. Appreciate y'all having me on, man. Thank you for that.
Appreciate you coming on, man. We really do.
Yes, sir. We got the recommendation, so I mean, we had to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to Jay the Kid, man.
Yep. That's the boy. Yep. Doing good. Chill days, one at a time. Content production. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm. That's true, and it can get busy and stuff can fluctuate so much, man.
Yep.
Depending on the type of content that you're producing.
For real.
It's a lot of work that goes into it as well, man. So kudos to y'all for doing this podcast, man. And again, thanks again for having me on too, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Obviously there's a bit of technical difficulties. Can't have the face cam today, but we really do appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, definitely.
No problem, man.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. So, the first question today that we wanted to ask you, you probably get this a lot, kind of basic, but, what really got you into YouTube?
Before I used to play Madden. I've always played Madden, but when the first sort of YouTube videos that I would watch were Duke the Killer. He used to play Madden, and he used to play Madden with one of his friends, and I was like, hold up, what? I think I can do the same thing, too, because all he's doing is having fun. He's having fun, being himself, playing a game that he loves. And I was like, oh, you know what? I can do the same thing, too. So went and got in a recording device and just started. And it's when you first, even though I wasn't even on the camera, just hearing my voice, recording my voice, it was super awkward, man.
Yep.
It's super awkward. It's super weird. And it takes some getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's like, oh, okay, it's not so bad after all. So yeah, I just got into it from watching Duke the Killer, and then I just figured that I could do the same thing, and then just went for it.
Nice. So you watched a lot of YouTube beforehand, or was it like a new thing that you? Yeah.
I just watched a lot of his gameplay, and I think a few other people too, and then just decided that I would just go for it for fun.
Hell yeah. Yeah, got to get the inspiration from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
All right, so obviously it's clear that you're a really big football guy, so naturally that's what the majority of your content is like. So just like the first question, what exactly is it that got you into football, or when did that start?
Oh, man. I mean, I've been watching football for a long time now. Mm-hmm. Back when I was growing up in Maryland, and I would watch football, but I wasn't really into it like that. Yeah. Until my aunt and uncle, they had season tickets for the Ravens, so they took me to my first game, and just the atmosphere, just the energy that was at the game, just being there live, it just changed everything for me in a good way, and it made football that much more enjoyable. So then I really started following the Ravens a lot more, following them a lot closer, and really paying attention to football, and just everything just grew from there. Yeah. And with the knowledge of the game growing, just the passion for football grew, and just the love for football grew. So it was like a domino effect, sort of. Mm-hmm. Because with all of those things happening, to where with all of those things growing, it made me fall in love with it more and more. Yeah. So every year just got more and more invested.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Did you ever play any?
Not organized. I only played street football. Back in high school, I was not focused enough to play. When I would go to the practice, the thing that I would be looking forward to the most was after practice was getting pizza and Gatorade. So I stopped
it's the best part. No.
Yeah, my mom was upset. She had bought me cleats and pads and all that stuff. And when I ended up quitting, she was heated. But it's all good. It ended up working out in the long run.
Yeah.
Cool.
So when I was looking at your channel, I noticed that you used to upload a lot of Madden content. What kind of moved you away from this?
Because with the Madden, I would get burnt out. And it wasn't something that I could do every day. It wasn't something that I could make videos on every day and enjoy it. If I was to keep making Madden videos, I would really hate the game. And since I was doing for YouTube, I feel like it should be something that you can talk about, you can do. Is whatever your channel is based on, it can be something that you enjoy talking about or doing every day. And with the Madden, it wasn't that. So I ended up changing, and I just enjoyed just talking about football a lot more than actually just playing Madden. And that even made my love for football grow even more. Just having the sort of the platform to talk on it, to discuss things how I wanted to discuss them, and not just be limited to watching like an ESPN and NFL Network and stuff like that. So just like I said, just talking about it, and being able to connect with other people too, who had views on different things with football, who like this player, dislike this player, like this team, dislike this team, whatever, so they could share how they felt too, and share an honest opinion. Because that's another thing with NFL Network, ESPN, Fox Sports, all that stuff. A lot of the opinions that they have on there are for certain agendas and whatnot, and certain players get promoted over other players and whatnot, and they want to push certain narratives and whatnot. But with my channel, it's just straight up honesty, man. So that's what I enjoy about it, maybe the most.
Yeah. I was looking at your channel. You post a lot of videos. How are you able to stay so like motivated and put out so much content?
Cause I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. It is my full-time job. But I just love it, man. I love it. I could talk football all day, every day, whether it's Ravens or other teams too. Cause we cover everything NFL. So yeah, I guess it's just the love for it. That's why I post so much. I actually have to sometimes I have to slow down with posting and just save stuff for another day, because I've learned a lot of lessons with patience over time. Because there was one day I said, man, I can never do this again. But it was with Madden, so it's a little bit different. But there was one day where I posted 5 videos in one day, and I said after that, never again. Never again. It was just too much. With Madden, with NFL, like with different time periods of NFL, I could do that and it'd be fine. But with Madden, no. But yeah, but basically, to answer your question again, just the love for it, man. So I post all day, every day, man, and streams and everything. Yeah, I just have a lot of fun on there, man.
Oh, yeah, that's honestly like so awesome. I think that's something that a lot of people going into content creation like underestimate, is like how real burnout is. And it's really hard to like find something that you are actually motivated enough and really love enough to be putting out so much content consistently, because it has to be, like you said, something that you love enough to literally like consumes your entire life. So that's awesome that you're able to find that, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Awesome. So I also took a look at your channel and was immediately incredibly impressed with the amount of videos that you have uploaded. I know it would take me a while to ever get to that point, for sure. But naturally, it got me thinking, what is your favorite part about creating content? I know obviously you said that you love it, but is there another thing that you get out of it that, maybe connecting with more, obviously, kind of reaching people on another level, or what exactly is it that keeps you your favorite part?
I think that would be it. Really, that interaction with other football fans. Just hearing from so many different people from all over the world. That interaction. Because with the channel, since it is, it's my point of view and my opinions on different things and how I see different things in the NFL. Sometimes somebody who's watching, they may learn something new. Sometimes the videos, I will get messages to where somebody may be going through like a rough patch in life, and they watch a video and it brightens up their day. I've had some sad stories where people are like going through like health problems and whatnot. So it's just a wide range of the interaction, which I think is my favorite part, and just looking to uplift people and make their days brighter. and make them happier all throughout just talking about football. And another thing too is that another one of my favorite parts about it, not only the interaction, but just being able to be me and being able to talk about whatever. Because yeah, we do talk football, but throughout the videos, throughout the live streams and stuff, I'll share different like personal details of my life. Sometimes we'll even put up a vlog or something like that. But when I can talk about my personal life too, something that I did or something that my son or my wife did or something like that, then I enjoy sharing that stuff with the viewers. So that makes it just more of a personal connection between me and them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to your channel a little bit, one of your sayings on your channel is "Team, keep it clean." Why do you choose not to swear on your channel?
Well, because I don't swear outside of my channel, but a big reason too for that is just because it's family friendly and it's literally for everybody. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't watch it. I don't want anybody to feel like they if they're watching it late at night or something, then if their parents come to the room, then they got to turn it down. Oh, turn it down so my parents don't hear. I don't want anybody to feel like that ever. I want everybody to be able to watch it. A son with his father, a mother with their daughter, from grandparents to grandchildren. I want everybody to be able to watch it, enjoy it, watch it peacefully, whether they want to turn it up loud, whether they want to have it low, whatever. But I just want everybody to be able to watch it and feel welcome too.
Obviously, doing YouTube for such a long time, I assume there are some creators you look up to. Who would these people be?
Ooh, wow, that's a good question. I think I know a little bit before we started, y'all talking about Flight Reacts. Now with him, I love his grind. That dude, he grinded. I watched him. I remember his old channel back when he would do the live videos and stuff. And then I remember when he first started his reaction channel, and this dude would just grind now. And then I watched him get to 1 million, and now he's a little past 1 million. And then he got another channel, I think, that went to 1 million subscribers too. So I just really love his grind and his work ethic. And another person that I would say too, with that same thing would be, and it's weird too because I don't really watch many of their videos, but when I do check out their channels and just see the growth and remember them from back in the day, it's like, wow. Another person who was like that was Cash Nasty Gaming. I remember his old channel was called Whatchamacallit. I remember I forgot the group of people who used to host it, but there used to be a sports commentator tournament. And I remember I took place in that tournament years back, but and I remember Cash Nasty was in there too. But seeing him, I remember, I think around that time he had maybe like 25 or 50,000 subscribers, and now he has one channel with like over 3 million, another channel with 1 million, and just to see all the progress that he's made, just how far he's come, because just with the quality of the videos, with all the experiences that he's been able to go through just from grinding. So those two would be two people that I guess I would look up to as far as YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely see where you're coming from, kind of like getting those motivation from those guys and just the grind, going back to like how many videos you produce. I can kind of see the exact parallel there with that, grinding out those videos. So naturally, after that question asking about the creators, we got to ask, if you could make a video with any creator or athlete, who would it be and what video would you make?
I would probably do a video with Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. I would try to race him. I will race him.
Oh, damn, okay.
He probably beat me. He would beat me. Probably about 9 times out of 10, but I would still want to try it. Or just a video, just playing football with him, maybe going through some drills or whatnot. Him at quarterback, me at quarterback, or side by side, seeing who could throw the best or whatnot. Just something like that. So yeah, it'd probably be Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that'd be a banger. I'd watch that. That's for sure.
I would very much watch that. Yeah.
So
maybe one day it'll happen. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Speak it to existence.
So obviously, we found you from Jay the Kid last episode, And do you have any other creators you think we should have on as guests in the future?
Oh man, yeah. It's a channel called Baller Central. They have about I think 1.4 thousand subscribers, so about 1,400 subscribers. They do NBA videos like what if scenarios and top 5, top 10 scenarios and things like that. Who else? I know some other Ravens. I know quite a few guys that I could suggest you guys have on here, man. So I can shoot you all the names and the Twitter handles and whatnot. So yeah, we could definitely set that up.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it. It's tough to get guests early on, but yeah. Moving away from the interview portion, I know you're mostly an NFL guy, but I think it's fitting with the channel. We'll talk a little NBA. So recent news, Kyrie Irving has been all over headlines, all over the news, with Bleacher Report saying that he doesn't even want to play in the NBA and he wants to make his own league. Players on the Nets have said this isn't true. And yeah, Kendrick Perkins on ESPN has been slandering Kyrie Irving throughout the whole thing. What do you think about this drama?
I'd like to hear it straight from Kyrie Irving's mouth first before I assumed anything. Because one thing that I've learned, even with just covering the NFL, is that a lot of rumors can fly, and they can fly really fast. And then we can pick up those rumors, and with us, especially in the time that we're in right now, since there's such a lack of sports, with those rumors, we don't want to just assume that every rumor that we hear is true. And it's always best when you hear it directly from the horse's mouth and you hear it directly from the person who the rumor is about, so they can go ahead and clear up anything that was said that they said. So with Kyrie Irving, I mean, I take a wait and see approach, really, with just the entire NBA period. But I know Kyrie Irving, he's been very vocal recently about a lot of things. But I would wait to like I said, to hear it directly from him before I made any assumptions or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Yeah.
I think the news, a lot of them, obviously no sports, as you said, searching for the story. It might be true, but yeah, I think that's smart.
Yeah, I think they're definitely taking advantage of him because of some of the things he said in the past. So they can be like, oh, Kyrie, we can make up Kyrie said he wanted to start his own league, and like people will kind of believe that a little bit.
Yeah. So we'll see. That would be something if he did, but
yeah.
I mean, that would be something. But I wonder how that would even work out because since he's an NBA player, if he would even be allowed to play in there because his rights would belong to the Nets.
Yeah.
Since he's under contract by them, so it'd just be super tricky how that would even work if it was even true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's no way to go about the situation lightly for sure. So naturally, we're talking about NBA. So do you guys think that the NBA will remain on schedule and end up playing in Orlando at the end of July, or given all the concerns and speculations going on right now, do you think that could possibly shift things a little bit?
I think they will. And I think one reason why they will, and it's another reason why I think the NFL season is gonna happen as well. But NFL more so than NBA, but I still think NBA is gonna go down as well because they have some time to prepare. Because I believe the season is supposed to start on July 31st.
Yeah.
So they have time to prepare. I know that according to reports, there's been a bunch of new cases with the COVID and whatnot, and it's been spiking up again. But the NBA, they still have a month and change to come up with even more plans. They have a lot of plans in place already, but just in case plan A falls through, okay, let's go to plan B. And just in case plan B falls through, let's go to plan C. And then they have time to come up with a plan D, E, F, etc. So I think the NBA, I think they're going to continue. And I think the players are going to play, at least the majority of them. There may be some that end up sitting out. But I think the season will go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I hope it does, but I think it will just because, I mean, from a marketing standpoint, it's just such a big loss if you just don't play anymore. And I think with no real sports, I know baseball is having so much trouble, and NFL is obviously not starting until August, September. I think having that time where there's no other sports will be really good for ratings. And yeah, I think they'll do whatever they can to play basketball as soon as possible. So Yeah, I think I see it happening.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of leading into them playing basketball. If you saw the other day, Shams tweeted out the hotels each teams would be playing in, or not playing in, staying in when they're in quarantine.
Mhm.
So the way they did it is that the better teams got inside the better hotels. So the Bucks, Lakers, Raptors, Clippers, Celtics, Nuggets, Jazz, and Heat are in the Grand Destino in Disney World, which is apparently one of the best hotels there.
Wow.
And then the Thunder, 76ers, Rockets, Pacers, Mavericks, Nets, Grizzlies, and Magic are in the Grand Floridian. Jeez. And
That's a really nice one too.
Kings,
Yeah.
Pelicans, Spurs, Suns, and Wizards are in the Yacht Club. So if you could live in one of these houses or one of these hotels, which one would you want to live in?
Oh man, I mean, those are all really nice hotels. I know that they may be on different tiers or whatnot, but they are really nice because we go to Orlando a lot and have never stayed at any one of the three. Seen them, but never stayed at any one of the three. So I mean, I couldn't go wrong with either one. So
Yeah.
In terms of like the players though, which hotel? Like I assume there's pretty much only the teams that are listed that are gonna be in the hotel. So which players and which teams would you most want to meet?
Well, wonder is John Wall healthy yet?
No, he is not. I'm a Wizards
Been
fan.
out for forever.
So I heard he's not even coming to Orlando. He's not even gonna watch. So that's a bummer.
So I would probably say where the Lakers are, LeBron and them, and maybe meet Giannis too. I'm not even gonna try to butcher his last name. So yeah, probably where the Lakers and the Bucks are staying, because you said that was the Grand Casino.
Grand Destino.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's where I would go.
This one. Yeah. I would do the same. The reason being is I think I would want to take away a lot of things, people who are just knowledgeable in general and who have a really good mindset. So obviously Destino's got, you got LeBron, you got Giannis, you got Kawhi, you got Mr. Fun Guy. Like, come on, you can't not be with the fun guy. And you guys like Jimmy Butler on the Heat. Like, I think there's a lot of really good mentality there that you could take from that. So I mean, you could say maybe it's because the best teams are there, but that's my reasoning is there's a ton of awesome mentality there that I could take from.
That's true. You could speaking to them and take it beyond basketball, man, and just learn about whether it be business or just life in general. Or I'm sure they could give you some nice tips.
Exactly. Yep.
That's a good way to look at it, man.
Yeah.
If I was to go, I'd probably go for the. I mean, the obvious I feel like is the Grand Destino, but I'm gonna go with the Yacht Club. I don't know. I mean, Zion, that dude is. He's besides LeBron and a few other names. I would really love to meet that guy. Devin Booker will be there. Yeah, I feel like I could probably take him 1v1, so that'd be a fun match. Yeah.
We have a history with Devin Booker on this podcast here.
And then the Wizards. No John Wall, but we still got all the other boys.
Yeah, I feel like the Pelicans would be a pretty fun team. They got a lot of fun guys like Josh Hart and Zion and Lonzo. They got some fun guys.
Yeah, so for me, it'd probably be the Grand Destino too. I was trying to look at the other hotels, see if I could maybe make an argument for the other ones. But I'm a Celtics fan, so that already boosted up. And I'm also a LeBron fan too, and had the opportunity to meet him, kind of learn from him. It's business wise would be insane.
Yep. Respect that. All right. Well, finally, before we move into the NFL segment of our show, it's impossible to talk about the NBA and not ask the question. So, Ingraven, I got to ask you, who do you think is going to win the NBA championship this year?
I think the Lakers will. I think they will because of just the added motivation that they have, especially everything with the Kobe Bryant situation. So I think that and them just them just wanting to get back to basketball, they'll be motivated enough. But then again, on top of that, having the entire Kobe Bryant situation that just happened, and also for since we haven't had any basketball, and the whole Jordan documentary came out. Of course, all eyes were on that. So I think LeBron, because everybody always does the Jordan-LeBron comparisons. I think LeBron is going to be extra motivated to be like, okay, all these people they might be thinking about Jordan right now, but I just hope they ain't forget me.
Yeah, well, I got something to show 'em.
Noise. So yeah, I think the Lakers are going to get it.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think is going to be their biggest hurdle?
Themselves. Possible fatigue, maybe injury, since they have been away from the game for a long time. So yeah, I think that would be it. Okay,
so you would say they it's not a given, but like it's pretty much they got it as long as they don't somehow mess themselves up. Okay, I respect that.
I don't know if I agree, but I gotta respect. I think the Clippers taking it this year.
But here we go.
Okay, we'll see, man. We'll see soon, man.
Yeah, I mean, now moving in a little bit more into NFL. Obviously, Ravens fan, and recently Lamar Jackson was announced to be the cover athlete for Madden 21. And this has brought a lot of Patrick Mahomes comparisons because, obviously. So this begs the question: which player is better?
Which player is better between Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson? Wow, that is that's a good question. But overall, that's tough. But it's tough because Patrick Mahomes is a better passer than Lamar. He's a better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a better athlete than Patrick Mahomes. And with the two, with Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, he could possibly one day get to the level of a passer that Patrick Mahomes is, but Patrick Mahomes will never be able to get to the level of running that Lamar Jackson can.
Yeah.
But right now I would say Patrick Mahomes though. I would say Patrick Mahomes is the better player.
And just going on that he's going to be on the cover of Madden this year. Do you think the Madden curse will get him? I mean, I know it didn't get the home last year, but
no, I don't. Because I mean, Patrick Mahomes was on the cover last year. He did get injured for a few games though, but they did win the Super Bowl, so it ended up working out. So hopefully the Ravens go through the same process. Not the injury part though, but just the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Do you think the end to this last season for them? Do you think that's going to have more of a positive or negative impact for Lamar? Is it going to he's going to use it as fuel or?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean they have to because they the way that they lost, they didn't even play that style of football, and it was just ugly. So I think that the way that they've built their team, they've built their team to counter all the weaknesses that they displayed in the playoff game. So they're definitely that game definitely motivated them this entire offseason. It motivated the players, motivated the front office. So yeah, they should make some noise this year and actually finish the job.
Yep. Next step up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have something to say, Ben?
No, I'm good.
No. All right. Okay. I was just like, we got not stepping on toes here. We'll make sure we get everyone in. No, but moving on. Obviously, trying to be as unbiased as you can. You probably be a little biased here, which is fine. But who do you think is going to that Super Bowl, and then who's ultimately going to win it this next year?
I would say the Buccaneers and the Ravens.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is partly because of the Madden curse. Because it's changed around for the better now. But the Ravens, their biggest hurdle last year was themselves because they just didn't play that game. But their biggest hurdle has been is the Chiefs. They have to be able to beat the Chiefs. They have to. But the way that they built their team, so they can compete with the Chiefs and they can end up beating the Titans because the Titans were the team that took them out last year in the playoffs. And they have a very young team, but now they added a lot more experience too. And experience is something that a lot of people don't value as much as they probably should in just sports general. Because you can have all the athleticism in the world, you can be the fastest, you can be the tallest, you can be the strongest. But if you lack that knowledge and you lack experience, then you're not going to be able to use all of those attributes to the best of your ability and use them in your favor. So that's why we do see some older guys, veteran guys in different leagues, whether NFL, NBA, whatever, who may not be as fast as they once were, but since they have that experience, they have that knowledge of the game, they know what to do more in different situations than a young guy who would be a lot faster than them, a lot stronger than them and whatnot. So Ravens added a lot of veterans on the team. And then the Bucks, on the NFC side, the Bucks just got Tom Brady. They already had a plethora of weapons in Mike Evans and Godwin and Cameron Brate. And I think the Bucks with Tom Brady, another reason I think they may be there is because the Super Bowl is in Tampa this year. And I think along with all of his knowledge of the game that Tom Brady has that he'll be bringing to Tampa Bay, he'll also be bringing the referees with him too. So they may throw him some extra calls here and there just to help him out. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes though.
Okay. They got Gronk too, right?
Yep. They got Gronk too.
Yeah. They got all the weapons for Tom. So. Cool. All right. What do you guys think? Do you guys have a prediction?
I mean, I'm personally not really that much of like an NFL guy. NBA is really my thing, so I'm pretty. I don't really know that much. So I'll pass it along to Henry.
Well, sadly, I'm a Jets fan. So.
Oh my God.
So obviously not going to pick them, but I can see I would pick the Ravens to make the Super Bowl this year too. I think Lamar is going to kind of use like him getting upset last year as motivation. And I'm also, for the NFC, I'm going to pick the Saints because I feel like people are kind of sleeping on them right now after Drew Brees made those kind of controversial comments. Right. And they're going to kind of come together and try to win.
That's a good one.
I'm going to have to say, this is pretty bold, but I'm going to go Texans from the AFC. I'm a big Deshaun guy myself. But
I like Deshaun.
And I don't think he's not Lamar, but I think, I mean, anything can happen in the playoffs, obviously. Mm-hmm. But and NFC, I might go with the Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers got one more run in him, and I think the Texans will take it.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's pretty bold, I feel like.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, you never know. Like you said, anything can happen in the playoffs. Man.
Facts.
Yeah, it should be fun, man. As long as we get a season this year.
Yeah.
It should be fun.
I don't care who wins. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that leads us into our final segment, and we played this last week with NBA players, but this week we're going to do it with NFL players, and it's called overrated or underrated. It's pretty simple, but I'm just going to give you a list of a few players, and you got to tell me if they are overrated and underrated, and then why. So the first player on this list is Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. I think a little bit underrated. Deshaun Watson, he makes, ever since he's been a rookie, man, he's made countless plays for the Texans. But now, I mean, we're going to see how good he can do without DeAndre Hopkins since they traded away him to the Cardinals. And that was not only Texans' best receiver, but I think he's the best receiver in the league. But I think I would say he's underrated because I don't feel like people appreciate his skill enough.
I can go. I feel like I just answered it in the last one, but yeah, I think he's underrated. I mean, obviously, hasn't been to Super Bowl, hasn't even really been to a conference championship yet, but I think he's so much potential, and I can't wait for him to see what he does in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I think he's a little underrated too. Like, obviously, he had a pretty heartbreaking game last year in the playoffs against the Chiefs, but it's gonna be really interesting to see what he can do this year because he really has like no weapons to help him whatsoever. So it'll be pretty telling to see like how good he really is with no one.
I mean, like I said before, I have obviously a vast knowledge of the NFL, so naturally, I think Deshaun Watson plays quarterback and he can throw to his receivers. So I definitely say underrated.
It's an expert right here. Need him on ESPN next year.
Sir.
Okay, so the next person is Todd Gurley.
Gurley. Oof. That's a tough one because he was good when he was good, but he's been hurt He's gotten hurt a lot, so I'm gonna say a little bit overrated, just because he's been plagued by injuries, man. And I can't. Yeah, I would say overrated.
I'm gonna agree. I think he's overrated. I think he's just like a known player, but like a lot of people that don't even like really consistently watch. They know him obviously. And yeah, I think because of how he just performed last year, I think he obviously underperformed, and I think there are a lot of younger guys. Maybe he'll turn it around, but I think he's overrated.
Someone remind. Is he in Atlanta now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think he's a little. I think he's a little underrated right now.
Oh.
Just because he's gotten so much hate lately. Just because like he got cut from the Rams and everything. And if he can get healthy, I think he can have a pretty good season in Atlanta. But we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely overrated. He's definitely an overrated player for sure.
Facts. No. All right.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm kind of just here at this segment.
All right. Our third guy, Michael Thomas. Yeah. What
Overrated.
do you think?
Overrated. Good hands, decent receiver, but his stats get very, very inflated because Drew Brees throws him the ball about 50 times a game. So still not a bad receiver, but I say way overrated.
Yeah, I think he's a bit overrated because obviously the numbers he put up last year were incredible, but yeah, I think the numbers don't always mean everything when you get the ball thrown to you pretty much every time, as you said. But I gotta ask, Ingraven, if you were to rank like these three guys, we got DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, and Julio Jones. How would you rank them?
DeAndre, Julio, Thomas.
That's
Hopkins at number 1, Julio Jones at number 2, and Michael Thomas at number 3. I'll say DeAndre Hopkins at number 1 because, like I said, I think he's the best receiver in the league. He's consistent, and he's been getting the job done with like 50 different guys at quarterback who have not been good. Deshaun Watson, he's only had him for a couple of years, and he's been the best quarterback that he's ever had. And he's always puts up numbers. So that's why I put DeAndre Hopkins at 1. Number 2, Julio Jones. He really good receiver, fast, tall. Just he could jump out the gym. He's crazy with it too. But the big thing with him has been injuries. But just as when he's on the field, I would say he's number 2. And then again, Michael Thomas, he would be number 3. Because again, good receiver, he can catch. Because I mean, if it would be one thing if Drew Brees was just throwing him a bunch of passes and he was dropping them, but he's catching them. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I would say he's number 3.
Yeah, for Michael Thomas, I don't really know where to put him. I don't really personally like him because I think he's kind of cocky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's cell phone.
So I'd say maybe like properly rated or a little overrated for me.
Yeah, so as someone who also has 2 first names for my first and last name, I gotta say he's probably underrated because Michael Thomas, it's a hard life living with 2 first names for sure.
Facts.
Okay, so the 4th person on this list is Jameis Winston, who's pretty interesting.
Very controversial name.
Can we go with neither? Not overrated or underrated?
Yeah, you can go with that.
Because I don't think he's either right now because it was a interesting season for him last year. Yeah. He was one of the only quarterbacks that passed for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, but he also threw 30 interceptions too. Yeah, so that's never good. And while the interceptions for quarterback is tough because interceptions, they're not all on you because you can throw a perfect pass and your receiver can drop it and then it ends up in the defender's hands, but it goes on your stat sheet as an interception. And with Jameis, now he's a backup. So there weren't really many starting jobs open. But at the same time, with his resume, he didn't really put together a great resume to get one of those starting jobs. So that's why I don't think anybody's overrating him at all, especially with him being a backup. But I also don't think he's underrated because of his performance.
I'm a big Jameis guy myself. But before that, I gotta ask Henry, what's going on in the room? This is wild. And
sorry, I was gonna got my cat out.
No, it's good. I saw the cat was in the shot, and I was like, that was funny to me. I should have pointed out earlier.
He's been walking around a lot in the background. I see.
Yeah, that was funny.
Next episode's guest, get ready.
Jameis, I had him on my fantasy team for a bit last year, so I'm a bit biased, but in fantasy, or at least in my league, touchdowns worth a lot more than interceptions. So even though he threw so many 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions or whatever, I still got to roll with him. Very good fantasy player. I don't know about how successful a team can really be with him at the QB, but I'd say underrated simply because how he helped me.
Okay.
Yeah, for Jameis, it's a pretty interesting player, like you said, like doing the 30 for 30. I remember people are tracking that all year. Like, can that really be done or not? And he did it. So I would say maybe a little underrated, just because like maybe in like the right situation, like if someone can coach him up, right? He also just got like, if you saw like in the offseason, like he just got his eyes fixed too. So maybe that will help him a little bit this year. But anyways, that's really it for me.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, I didn't even know what position he played before this, and hearing that he plays quarterback, it's pretty impressive to play quarterback at an NFL team, at NFL level, so he's definitely underrated.
There you go.
Very, very knowledgeable man.
Yep.
Okay, so 5th on the list is OBJ.
Wow. Odell Beckham Jr. Really good receiver. I would say a tiny bit underrated. The reason I say that is because he's a really good receiver. Playmaker receiver. He can do it all. Take a short pass the distance, take a long pass the distance. He can do everything. Good route runner, good hands, all of that. But I think a lot of people get on him for him being a quote unquote diva. And I think that gets overplayed. And I think that takes away how people feel about Odell Beckham Jr. as a receiver, because they feel like he's a diva. But when I look at it, I just look at somebody who does not like to lose. Because if you looked at some other players, they're doing the same exact things that Odell Beckham Jr. would be doing, like on the sideline and stuff, maybe throwing his helmet, yelling or something like that. But depending on what player these like commentators and analysts and experts are looking at, they'll say, oh, that player just has passion. But when it comes to Odell Beckham Jr., they'll say, oh, he's a diva. Yeah. So I would say Odell Beckham Jr. Is slightly underrated.
Well, yeah, that's actually a pretty good point, because when he made that catch, however many years ago that was now, like he blew up, like all like the edits and everything. And I think that really threw him in the spotlight a lot.
Sure did.
So like people have been like watching him like every move he makes now. So people have definitely been criticizing him a lot more than if he didn't make that catch. That's my personal opinion. But I'd say he's probably properly rated. He wasn't put in the best situation last year of Baker Mayfield at quarterback. But hopefully, like I feel like that team wasn't really a team last year. Hopefully they kind of like come together this year, and it'd be really cool to see them at their full potential.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't expect this, but I think the one-handed catch, similar to what Henry said, I think if he never made that catch, he may have had a better career so far. Just because it put him in the spotlight so much. I don't know if it was good for him or bad for him, but I personally don't think it helped him. Obviously got him a lot of followers and stuff like that. Probably made more money that way, but I think in terms of just like raw winning and the numbers putting up, that I think he would have done a little better if he never made that catch. But in terms of overrated or underrated, I think he's a bit overrated. Not too much, because he does get hated on a lot. But I just think he's one of the faces of the NFL. And I don't think, like, obviously when you make a catch like that, it makes sense. But I don't think he's a caliber of player to be that to be one of the faces of the league.
I mean, honestly, he's got the best hair in the league. Head and Shoulders is doing him well, so he's definitely underrated.
Yeah, facts. Gotta get that sponsors.
Okay, so The final player on this list is Lamar Jackson.
Definitely
Lamar
overrated.
Jackson. I like how you saved this one for last. Oh man, it depends on who you're talking to. But overall, ooh, man, that is tough.
I respect that it's not just a quick decision.
Yeah.
Like, just because he's like your guy. Like I respect that you got thought behind it.
If we want, we can get you last since we know this is your guy.
You know what? I would say neither. Not overrated, not underrated. Because a lot of people say that Lamar Jackson, that he can't throw the football. He's not a good passer. He's a running back playing quarterback since he runs so well. And a lot of people don't give him credit for his passing. Yeah, he does need to improve on his passing. So he got some ways to go, but his efficiency is really good. Because he does more with less. Like he led the league in touchdown passes, but the Ravens were like in the bottom like 5 or 10 when it came to total passing yards and pass attempts too. So that's a good display of that efficiency. But again, a lot of people say he can't throw and that his style is not going to last. So they wouldn't trust him for the long term. But another thing too, so that's where I think people will underrate him. But then where he could be overrated in some eyes would be since he's getting all this attention. He's on the Madden cover, so a lot of people may be like, oh, he's on the Madden cover. He must be the best thing ever. And he's getting all this national attention from the media and just from people everywhere. And he's not there yet, but he's getting close to being one of those players where you know who they are, even if you don't watch whatever sport they play.
Yeah.
And there's a certain amount of players where you can say one of their names and everybody will know who they are. Well, you can either say their first or last name, and everybody will know who you're talking about. That's guys like Brady. Everybody knows who that is. Jordan. Everybody knows who that is. Kobe, Shaq. So Lamar, he's getting there. So I think that's where he may be overrated a little bit. So I would say meet in the middle. So I would say neither.
Same.
For that, I was kind of thinking the same thing because people really like to hate on him a lot, but when you look at him, like he's doing all of his highlights are always insane.
Yeah.
Like you're always seeing that, like how did he do that right now? And just to kind of touch on what you said too, is that like even though you said Mahomes is better right now than Lamar, I would say that Lamar is probably a bigger name than Mahomes right now in the NFL. Like more people will know who Lamar is than Patrick Mahomes just because of how like much you hear of him and like how kind of different he is.
That's true.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
That's a really tricky one.
Yeah, so I would say about properly rated.
Okay.
Man, I don't want to be the guy just repeating what everyone says, but
come on now, Ben.
I really like what you said. I think he was a bit underrated until obviously Madden cover, all these things, that MVP, all these things. And yeah, I think before then he was a bit underrated, but after just the awards and the recognition he's gotten after this past season, I think he's right where he should be. And I mean, obviously he's such a young player. Can't wait to see what he does in the future.
Yeah. Should be fun.
So that's all the questions. Oh.
You good?
Oh no. Go ahead.
That's all the questions we have for you for today. Anything else you want to say before we outro?
What are you guys looking to do with this whole thing?
I mean, we're just trying to. I mean, we're starting off, so it's obviously, as you probably know, as many other creators know, it's really hard to get it off the ground. But we're just trying to have a good time, have guests on, just talk sports, YouTube. I mean, I think just like YouTube, even if you don't do it as a job, or if you do, just like that profession is so not like something that so little people know about, like in the world, I feel like, and just like knowing that these are like not just the dudes from the videos, like these dudes are just normal people, similar to like NBA guys, I guess. Like you don't really see them outside of their videos. And I think if you talk, I thought it would be a good idea to talk to these guys and see what they're up to.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, like I said earlier, what I can do is I can refer some guys to you all, whether NBA YouTubers, some other NFL YouTubers, or anybody in the middle too, with maybe gaming and whatnot. And yeah, let them know that they should come on if you would be willing to. If you could schedule time with them.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be much appreciated.
But yeah, man, I'll do that, man. Get some guests lined up for you.
That that means the world. I don't know. There's no way to really say it, but
no problem.
Okay, I think that with that answer, I think that concludes the 3rd episode of the Coast to Coast podcast. Thanks again to IngravenVids for coming in on the podcast. His YouTube links and all of his social medias will be in the description below. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and leave a like for more episodes in the future. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and peace.